So that approach, incorporating mindset with nutrition and with exercise, with stress management, with sleep management, has enabled me to essentially almost always get very good results with clients, because there's no longer anything being left to chance. And it's been the most rewarding way of working for me personally. I get to work with people globally. I get to work with people from the States, from Canada, throughout Scandinavia, throughout Europe, through to Hong Kong and Asia. So in that sense, it's really, really interesting. But also it's more challenging getting to work with people who have different cultural backgrounds, different beliefs, different ways of eating as well. Without sounding too generalistic, but there's certain cultures that if you try telling them to give up certain foods that are their national heritage, good luck. So really learning how to work with people from all walks of life, and how one approach where you view everything as important rather than just nutrition or just exercise has really, really upped my game, as it were. And it's also meant that I now have, I don't really view what I do as a job. It's a passion. I've always been passionate about it ever since I was young and I was ill, but now it's a passion that enables me to have a profound impact on the people's lives that I get to work with. So I feel really honoured when somebody decides to work with me, because I know that I'm going to get to know them on a really deep level and help them move past what has been holding them back. So that's a bit of a review as to where I've been and my journey to now. But in a bit more detail, I just wanted to focus on specifically my health and how the experiences I've gone through have really benefited me with how I work with my clients now. So not only the chronic fatigue, having an issue that didn't have an easy Western diagnosed medical way out of it, it was more about lifestyle choices and balance and moderation. So that really, really impacted my understanding that drugs don't always answer the problem. Taking something for anxiety, it may help you with the symptoms of anxiety, but you're not dealing with the problem, the cause of the anxiety. Same with depression. Taking medication to help you with the depression is right for some people in certain circumstances, but again, you're dealing with the symptoms but not with the cause. So anxiety, depression, eating, over-reliance on eating and drinking, alcohol, these are all things that we use to help us cope with but not deal with problems that we face. And this, I think, is the biggest realization I've ever had in my life, but also with my job and my career, is how figuring out your why, what I call our why, our big whys, as to why we do what we do. Once you've figured that out, it's no longer a case of your willpower and motivation battling your habits. When you know why you do what you do, you know why you rely on alcohol to calm you down, to help you fall asleep, to help you drown out the problems, the worries, the stresses that you face on a daily, weekly basis. When you figure out why you do that, then you can become aware of it. And when you become more self-aware, that's when you can actually start to change how you think. And when we change how we think, we change our reality that we perceive. At the end of the day, what we look at, how we feel about the world, the way we view the world, it's all neutral what's happening, but it's our perception that informs whether we get angry about something or happy about it, whether we get nervous or excited. I was actually talking to a new client of mine who recently signed up with me, and he made a comment that he was nervous and excited at the same time to start working with me. And I said to him, well, that's not surprising, considering nervousness and excitement are actually our perception of the same chemical reaction that happens in the body. So nothing is happening differently for him to feel nervous or excitement other than his perception of the feeling. So that's just an example of how important it is that we are more self-aware and more conscious of what we're doing and why we're doing it. So for me, that has been the biggest breakthrough for me, and also with my clients. Now that I figured out how important the why is, that's a big focus of what I do with my clients. So although most of my clients originally come to me for help with weight loss, help with their energy levels, getting rid of those slumps in the mid-afternoon, or just feeling like you've not slept when you wake up, also help with creating better sleep routines, sleep management and stress management. All of these things can be affected by what you eat, by exercise, what you drink, but also hugely how we think and how we feel about things. So, like I said, even though that might be the intro of why we start working together, quite often, once we get the basics of the nutrition down and the basics of better movement down, the focus shifts to mindset and how we view the world. And like I said, when you start working on that, personally, for myself, that's where I've made the biggest leaps and bounds with my health, both physically and mentally, but also with my clients, helping them break through things that they're in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. Most of my clients, they're normally quite senior in their roles across industry, not just finance, it could be any industry, but they're normally quite executive and senior, and as a result they have a lot of stress. And when you start to figure out why it is you get stressed by things, you can start to work on improving your responses to things. So that's a bit more insight into how I've dealt with my experiences and how that's informed how I work with my clients. But everyone's story is different. If you're overweight, it's virtually always because you're eating more or you're consuming more calories than you're using. But why you do that is totally individual to you. And that's the key. If you figure out your why, you can figure out how to change it. So I really hope this video has been helpful for you to get to know me a bit more and hopefully a bit more insightful into how I work. I'll be launching a new signature program soon. My signature course where it's one-to-one coaching with me and a client, fully customized and bespoke to their particular needs, wants and struggles and goals. So this video hopefully will help you feel like you understand me and how I work. If you have any questions, please feel free to, if you're not connected with me, send me a connection request. I'm always looking to connect with people and actually start to network and get to know you more. But if you are a connection, feel free to drop me a direct message on LinkedIn or send me an email. My email will be at the bottom of the video. I'd be more than happy to help or advise in any way I can, even if that's not working with you. If I can just help point you in the right direction or help give you some clarity on what it is you're struggling with, that's what I love to do. So hopefully you've just enjoyed watching this video, getting to know me a bit more, but if it's spoken to you on some level, please do feel free to reach out and let me know, and I will get back to you as soon as I can.